or anything. Nice show. Before we get started today, I'm just going to ask everybody get seated just so people can see in the back. Yeah, everybody get seated. Try to scooch forward towards the glass just so we can fit in as many people as possible. Thank you guys so much. In about 2 minutes or so, our diver will be coming down and our show will begin. Hello friends and welcome to your Ray show. Before we begin today, just going to go over some rules. You guys are more than welcome to grab photos and videos, more than welcome to share it on social media. Just make sure you don't use flash as that can disturb some of our creatures. Make sure to give our diver a wave as he comes down. Give him a wave, he'll be able to see you just as you can see him. So, today, our diver will be coming down to feed our southern and our rocktail rays. So, before we begin, how many different types of stingrays do we think we have in our exhibit? You guys can shout out some answers. How many different types of stingrays?
4.
3, 4, 8, 20. Alright, so I heard the correct answer. The correct answer is 4. We have 4 different species of stingrays in this exhibit. Today, our diver will be feeding 2 of those 4 species of stingrays. Specifically, they'll be feeding our southern stingrays and our rough-tail rays. So, our southern stingrays and our rough-tail rays actually look very similar, but how you guys can actually tell them apart is you're going to first look for these big, brown, flat-looking pancakes. So that's the first mark for finding a southern and a rough-tail. Next up, we actually have 9 southerns in this exhibit. They are all females just to help with population control, because as you can see, they do get quite large. The mothers can have litters of up to 12 to 16 pups at once. So that's why we have all females for our southerns. For our rough tails, let me see if I can spot one of them. I pointed out as they come by. Our largest individual in the tank is Mad Max. He weighs, can anybody guess, how much does our largest stingray weigh in this exhibit? 180, 260. Oh, I see him right there. So right in the middle, kind of near by himself, that is Mad Max. Swimming over to the left side, you'll see he has that shortened tail. The reason for that is because we actually rescued him from a shark attack, and we had to amputate the tail. Yeah. So in regards, after we amputated the tail, he was down here to receive. This is an excellent opportunity to kind of see our divers feeding. It's also a good chance to see where the anatomy of our stingrays and where their mouths are located. So they are located on the bottom side of their bodies. The reason for that is these guys are bottom feeders. They spend the majority of their This is my favorite part of the show. Yeah, they spend the majority of their time kind of stretching along the sea floor, looking for different types of shellfish. Today they'll be fed clams, mahi, cakewood, mackerel, a whole variety of fish just to make sure all their nutritional needs are met. My personal favorite ray in this tank are actually our spotted eagle rays. So you'll see our spotted eagle rays, they're kind of off to the top in the shallow area right now. Reason for that is all our spotted eagle rays are actually target trained. What that means is our spotted eagle rays will actually follow a target, touch their head on that target, and that's when they'll receive their piece of food. There are several advantages to this. Number one, we can keep track of how much each individual is eating. Number two, we can also keep track, or just do a daily visual check, make sure the animals are swimming all right, make sure they're healthy. So lots of useful purposes for this target training. Also keeps our animals mentally stimulated. Alright, so you'll see our spotted eagle ray off to the back. If anybody here has seen Finding Nemo, the teacher stingray is actually based off of the spotted eagle ray, and that's for a certain reason. It is because they're extremely intelligent. In fact, these guys are so smart that they'll actually shoot themselves out of the water to dislodge parasites from their bodies. Sometimes the females will even jump up to 6 feet into the air to help speed up the delivery of pups. Alright, next up are our crowd favorites, our cow nose rays. These are our smallest individuals in the tank, and their name comes from the fact that their face kind of looks like a cow's nose. It's very self-explanatory. Those flaps that you see on the front of their face, it is not their mouth. They're actually modified pectoral fins, which they will actually use to search underneath the sand for food. They'll use it to move the sand away so they can access whatever they are trying to find. Alright, so who here is scared of sharks? Let me see some hands. Do you have anybody in the audience scared of sharks? Alright, in reality, we really don't need to be that scared of sharks. Sharks and stingrays are very closely related. They come from the elasmobranch family. What unites this family is that actually, if everybody feel your ears and feel your nose for me, does anybody know what is that material made of? Go ahead. Cartilage, awesome. So, stingrays and sharks, they have entire skeletons made out of cartilage. No bones in their body, just cartilage. This allows them to be super light, super quick, and super quiet in the water, making them perfect for their environments. Sharks are basically just like elongated stingrays. They're not that scary. If you're not scared of stingrays, you don't need to be scared of sharks. In fact, more people actually die from falling coconuts and falling vending machines every year than they do from shark attacks. However, in comparison, over 10 million sharks a year die as a result of human actions. So one of the ways we can actually do to help is when you guys are out at the supermarket, one of the things you can do is look for the Ocean-Wise label. This ensures that your fish was sustainably caught, which means that no animals such as stingrays, turtles, and sharks were accidentally caught in the process and harmed. One of the other ways you guys can actually help, and this is one of my favorite things to do, is to educate your friends and family. Whether it's something you learned here today at today's show, or it's when you guys were reading a sign while walking around, hopefully you guys take this back, share it with your friends and family. The more people we have that actually know about these animals and care about these animals, the more people we have thinking of solutions towards solutions on how we can protect our oceans. Alright, so after the dive show ends, if you guys actually just head past Planet Jellies, you will reach both our touch tanks, where you guys can actually touch some of our tide-pool touch animals, such as our sea stars, our mussels, our snails, our anemone, and also our star of the show is Ray Bay. You guys are also welcome to touch any one of the stingrays as they come by in the shallow area. Keep your hands nice and flat in the water. They can actually, stingrays and sharks, they actually have a superpower known as electroreception. Basically what that means is whenever there's something, any living creature in the water with them, the moment they move a muscle or their heart beats, they are able, any shark or stingray is able to detect those electrical impulses, so they'll know the moment you put your hands into the water. If you splash, they don't like it and they will not come over. So keep your hands nice and still and then pet them along the backs and their fins. They don't like being pet on their eyes and tails. A question I often get asked is, can the stingray sting me? And the answer to that is no. Stingrays are actually very friendly creatures. They're not as scary as media makes them out to be. Generally, when they sting humans, it is because these guys like to bury underneath the sand. People will walk along, kind of step on them. You wouldn't like to be stepped on. It's quite scary. They just get scared, so they use their barb. The barb is actually a structure that grows on top of the tail. So all these tail structures you see, that's not the part that can actually prick you. That is just their tail. The spine grows on top of the tail. But here at the aquarium, we actually trim the barbs to prevent any accidents for our divers or for any of our other creatures. So you guys are more than welcome to touch them, enjoy them as you guys reach the touch tanks up above. So that brings me to the end of my talk today. I will be available for questions up here at the end of the show. But other than that, thank you guys so much for listening and have a great rest of your day.